We have stars Jesse Plemons and Emma Stone. That's bourbon, right, in your ice cream? Yeah, I figured. You would need it after a movie like this. So yeah, I saw this a while ago, and I've been thinking about it since. It's a very striking movie for in lots of ways. Yorgos, I'm curious, kind of first off, what drew you to this? I mean, I heard someone say to me the other day that this feels like your most kind of overtly political film. Do you see it that way?
Which phone am I looking at? I guess it's more direct in a way, but it just turned out to be. I don't necessarily think about it very consciously when I choose what I'm interested in. So when this came along, which was basically a gift because Ari Aster and Lars Knudsen developed the script initially with Will Tracy, who wrote it. So at one point I received a script that was, already incredible. So it was I needed very little encouragement to get involved.
Emma, you've obviously worked with Yorgos a few times now, quite fruitful. That was part of why you said yes. You were like, well, let's just do it again. But like, I saw something in Begonia that felt kind of in conversation with The Curse, the show you did with Benny Safdie and other people. Do you? Sorry, thank you. No, I meant someone else. But do you feel like you have a kind of? Are you drawn to political kind of TV movies right now, like as an actor?
I guess that's a hard question to answer because I'm so drawn to people making things that it's in combination with that. I guess I think the story of The Curse and Begonia are obviously very different, but I understand what you're saying in terms of the way our world is now and kind of the kind of people who are taking advantage of people in society, but being a hero or a good guy in their own minds or not. So yeah, that was. I think there's obviously a lot of stories that are kind of covering the insanity of our world right now. So maybe, but also
I think this might sound like a cop-out, but the script was honestly so rich and vivid and well told that my first experience reading the script, I probably did in those first 10 pages naturally make some judgments, like I'm sure a lot of people watching make early on, but because of the way Will sort of rolls out information and is constantly showing you more layers of both Teddy and Michelle, and giving you more of Teddy's history, very quickly I sort of saw something at his core that was really damaged and troubled and traumatized, and also desperately wanted to matter and to do something and like find a place to put all of these very intense feelings, and he found that in Michelle. It's like, here, that's where I put it all.
Yeah, I mean, I think.
Just try and make it a little bit more intimate, but still have a sense of world and humanity. And yeah, the other thing I can say is that it's interesting to see how people, come out of the film, some of them feeling hopeful and some of them feeling really bleak. It's is really, it tells a lot about, how you feel or about how you think, or what phase you're in your life, I guess, to have an ending like that.
Yeah, I think depending on your mood or outlook, you could laugh or cry or both, or I don't know. But I'm curious, Emma, what it was like to be in the mindset of this movie, like while you were shooting it. The bulk of your scenes, you are in some sort of physical duress. You're, being chased, held captive, pleading for your life, fighting for your life, face covered in white. It's not paint, but it's something. Are you able to kind of, they wrap for the day, does that stay with you, like as an actor? Like, how is it easy to kind of get in and out of that, or is it kind of, you just have to live in it for the whole shoot? That sort of condition of stress and I guess discomfort.
No, I don't. I don't think I live in it the whole shoot. But I think, this one in particular was interesting because every time we were moving on from a scene, we had another big scene coming up. Like, there's so much dialogue and there's so many things that were just, I felt like I was then just kind of cramming where we were going to be next. So that was sort of the relentless part, is making sure that we could really, do a 10-minute scene at a dinner table, and have that feel free and good into like the monologue or whatever that was. So that was mostly what I was focusing on. But no, I don't know that I...
Tell us about a little bit how you found him and what shooting with him was like as a first-time actor.
Well, I knew from the beginning after Jesse and Emily got involved that for that part I wanted to find a non-professional actor, which is something that I do in all of my films, sometimes more roles or less, or bigger ones or smaller ones. But obviously this was a very important part. And so we worked with Jennifer Venditti, that actually worked on The Curse. There's another connection there. And she's very experienced in street casting and, find people that are not experienced or have studied acting. And as we started looking for someone, I kept thinking that, the character kind of felt to me that he could be neurodivergent. So we started looking into that direction, and we found Aiden, who's autistic. That's how he prefers to be referred as. And he immediately, stood out, and he was one of the early people that we saw, and then we kept looking and looking and